What's up, y'all? TruthTiger is in the house, or in the car at least. I'm gonna have a good video for y'all today, so let's rub our hands together. No hands on the wheel, and let's get started here. We're gonna talk today about turning the shit show into a party. Life can really be an SHIT show. Life can have a lot of drama, a lot of insanity, a lot of nuts stuff. A lot of the families we came from, there was a lot of drama. You know, my parents were always fighting. I'm sure y'all can relate. You know, everyone was kind of against everybody. There was not much stability. There was not much sanity. There was a lot of out of control emotions, out of control ego, a lot of narcissism, not a lot of humility, not a lot of good morals, not a lot of good ethics, and as such, it created a SHIT show. I know growing up, the schools I went to and stuff, massive SHIT show, and a lot of friendships I've had, relationships I've had, it's just one freaking shite show after another. I'm trying not to curse too much. The algorithm does not love cursing, so I'm going to need to be a little bit careful in this video, but you get my point. Life has a lot of freaking drama and crap and insanity. The workplace can have a lot of drama and crap and insanity. I've had to deal with that a lot. I had a roommate in the past who was just next level insane. I had to deal with him. And just everywhere you turn in the world, it is a freaking shite show. It's an SHIT show. Look at politics. Complete crap show. I mean, what can you say? Look at organized religion. Again, it is a shite show. It's a show of drama. I've been involved in 2 organized religions in my lifetime, and I can tell you, bunch of drama and insanity and a bunch of crazy people. You know? The corporate world, bunch of drama and insanity. The thing about work, it's like most of the time it's just boring. There's nothing going on. But then every so often you'll get assigned some new task or some new thing, or there's some fire you got to put out, or you got some coworkers just being crazy or something, or usually boring, but sometimes it's just a bunch of insanity. I guess that's really life for the most part. It's usually boring, but then every so often some crazy stuff happens. Every so often there's an SHIT show. Every so often. But yeah, like, life is just a bunch of insane drama. This world is just a bunch of insane drama. I mean, I remember at my apartment complex, I was up late on a Saturday night. I look outside the window. There are these people having some big drunk driving fight, and there's 2 cars blocking the road, and people are getting out of the cars, and they're yelling at each other, and they're going crazy and stuff. I probably told this story before, like in a really earlier video, but so I apologize if you already heard this one. But yeah, like, I'm just seeing them have this insane crazy fight, and I'm kind of watching, eating my popcorn a little bit, and you know, I felt a little bit ashamed for watching that and eavesdropping on that, but it's just like, man, I'm really glad that I was not in the car with them. I'm really glad that I was not hanging out with people like that. I'm really glad that I cut narcissists out of my life. I'm really glad that I went no contact with crazy people. I'm really glad, because if I didn't do that, I could see myself being in that car. The cops came, someone got arrested, whatever. And it's not really fun when you're in the middle of that. You know, you can watch from a distance and, you know, enjoy it a little bit in, you know, a little bit of a messed up way, you know, guilty pleasure or whatever, watching the car crash. But being in that car crash is not fun. And I've been in the car crash before, and trust me, not fun, not enjoyable, not a good deal. Not a good freaking deal at all. I've been around it. It's not fun to be around. You know, I've lived my life like just, you know, whatever. I've had a lot of people cause drama for me in my life and be dramatic and be crazy. And, you know, I had this roommate, and like any little thing would turn into some big, huge argument. And, you know, he'd be freaking out about every little thing and be suspicious of everything I said. There was always some fight, always some drama, always some freaking nutty BS. And I didn't get what was going on until I looked into narcissists, and I'm like, okay, you know, I got me a case here. I got me a case. And then just growing up with a crazy family that's always fighting all the time, and there's always nutcase stuff, and people were popping pills, and just being around just this stuff where just everyone's always fighting with everybody, and there's always all this stuff going on. You can't even think straight. You can't even think straight because you're just going from one argument to the next, one family crisis to the next, you know, one friend crisis to the next. Like, it was always a crisis. It was always a fire to put out. Someone was always having some drama or some problems. I can't really think of examples right now, but it's like, man, it was always just like one crisis, one drama, one issue, one thing to the next. And there was no space or break in between. It's just like, man, it's just always just like some insanity going on. You know, someone was in a relationship and they thought it was really good, but like from the outside I could tell they had problems, and it falls apart, and now he's all messed up and she's all messed up, and they need people to talk to, and they're trying to get back together with new people, and blah, 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 blah. There's a problem with the new people, and then there was just always something. There was always some crap going on. And my mom's calling me about this and that. You have to call me back. Blah, 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 blah. That's such and such and so and so. And this is happening and that is happening. And it was just, it just never stopped. The drama never stopped. It was unending. It was unfreaking ceasing. It was just one thing to them. All these social events too. I'm having a dinner party and I need you to, we don't have a car. We have to borrow your car for this and that. And you feel obligated. You got to help these people out. And you're just like, oh man. But just after a while, it just got exhausting. You're at a party. I'm at a party. I have a few too many drinks. Friend's girlfriend is trying really hard to hook up with me. And I'm like trying to resist that. And it's just like, is that going to turn into a big problem? It could. It's just like, dude, it never stopped. It never stopped. And you just feel insecure. And just like, when I say insecure, I don't mean like low self-confidence. I mean, you feel like you don't know what's going to happen next. You just don't you feel like an earthquake just hit and the ground is shaking. And you're like, how am I going to stand on this ground? It's like you're walking through like quicksand. And you're like, when is this quicksand going to like suck me under? You know? It's like you're climbing a tree and the branches are hella thin. And you're grabbing these thin branches trying to climb this tree, and you're like, man, one of these branches is going to snap, and I'm going to fall out of this tree, and I'm going to fall on my freaking ass. I'm going to hurt myself. And that's how I felt in life, just unstable. Sometimes I did dumb stuff on my own volition. You know, there was some temptation, some stuff. My friend's getting into some crazy business, and I'm like, that sounds like fun. Let's partner up on that, you know, just whatever. There was some stuff that I did that I regret too, but a lot of it for the most part was just these just crazy people, and I was not setting good boundaries. I wasn't. And the thing is like, you want to turn this SHIT show into a party, into a good time, into an actual fun time. And part of it is you got to get out. You know, you got people that you're reliant on for money, you're reliant on for emotion, you know, emotionally, mentally, you just feel very connected to them. You don't, you know, it's hard for you to go on without them, whatever. You know, you got to be independent. You got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to be able to have a good sense of who you are. You have to stand up for yourself. You can't be too caught up on these people in the past. You can't feel all obligated. I felt so obligated to my parents and my family that I'm like, I'm obligated. I can't say no to them. I can't cut them out of my life. It's like, yeah, you can. You're not obligated, you know? And just not being stuck in the past, not thinking about, oh, what are these people doing? What's that person doing? Not thinking about your ex, like just all this kind of stuff. You gotta just be like, and the haters who did you wrong, the narcissists who did you wrong, all these freaking shitty, crappy little cockroaches who did you wrong. Like, you gotta just kind of be like, all right, whatever. I just gotta move forward. I gotta focus on my own stuff. You can't stay in the doom and gloom forever. You can't stay in the misery forever. And the thing about this SHIT show, it did a lot of damage to us. I've been depressed for most of my life. I've had anxiety for most of my life. I've had physical conditions that have manifested out of this stuff too. Celiac disease, Raynaud's disease, asthma, a bunch of allergies. I've had a bunch of issues that have, literal physical health issues that I'm sure came up out of the stress of having to deal with all this stuff. I mean, this SHIT show did its damage. It did a lot of damage to us. It's not a joke, but at some point you have to get up. You have to get up on your own 2 feet. You got to put all 10 toes on the ground. You got to stand up. You have to be strong, be courageous, have faith in God. You got to stand up tall, stand up strong, know who you are. That first part is the hardest part. That first part is hard. That first part took me years to just stand up on my own 2 feet and just, like, not deal with all this BS people are doing. And then the next part is you have to have self-esteem. You have to have value in yourself. You have to have self-worth. You have to be good with who you are. You do. And you have to have a good sense of acceptance. Like, you have to just feel like you're accepted. You can't go around like, I'm insecure, I'm rejected. You got to go around like you're accepted. Carry the knowledge that you're accepted by God and that He accepts you. Carry that around with you and walk around like you're accepted by the Most High, and don't go around feeling all rejected. And you got to start to be able to trust people again. Don't trust everybody. Be careful. Take it one step at a time. But for me, it was like, I was so insecure that I wanted like instant friends, instant relationship. We're hooking up right away. We're best bros right away. Whatever it is, whether it's with a girl, it would be like we're hooking up right away. If with a guy, it'd be like we're best bros right away. We're the two amigos immediately. We're boyfriend and girlfriend immediately. And that never led to anything good because I'm not taking my time to get to know people right. And it's like I feel so rejected and lonely and hurt, and I'm so desperate and I'm so in pain, and I just have to desperately cling to this person. And they do the same thing. And a lot of times those kind of people can be hella toxic, and you can be right back into another narcissistic situation, which you don't want to be in. Or if you're lucky, it's just going to be super codependent and like clingy, but it could become narcissistic and nasty and worse. And it's like, take your time with people. Also, know that people are not static. Some people are like, I have some people that are like, they're total narcissists, they're totally toxic. I'm not going to really talk to them. I'm going to just completely have them out of my life. And that's a lot of people. Then there's some people that like, they're kind of okay. They could be a little bit bossy and controlling or needy or needing attention. They could be a little annoying sometimes, but they could be cool sometimes too. And I'm like, all right, I'll just kind of talk to that person a little bit. Maybe chill with them, hang out with them a little bit. They're not going to be a super close friend, but they'll be someone I'm kind of cool with. And then there's people that are just chill. You don't really fight with them. You don't argue with them. Easy to get along with. They're giving. They're accepting. They're just like good vibes. Those good vibes people are rare, but they exist. Like, probably like 1 in 10 people is a good vibes person. You just have to sort through the 9 other people first. But the thing is, I didn't know what was going on earlier, so I wasn't doing the sorting. I didn't understand what the game was, so I was not doing the sorting. And I was also just like insecure and wanted acceptance, so I wasn't doing the sorting. Do the sorting. Take your time. And also, you don't have to have friends. If you don't have friends, whatever. Like, be cool with yourself. That's a lot better off than hanging around bad people, you know? Be cool with yourself. And when you start to do all this stuff, the SHIT show turns into a party. You start to be able to have fun. You start to be able to enjoy life again. I used to not enjoy life. I used to not look forward to stuff. Like, I used to just like, whatever. One day was the same as the next. And I didn't have any fun with anything. And you could give me the best, coolest new video game, and I'd just be bored of it. I'd be like, this isn't fun. Well, you know, very few things got me excited. The only thing I had any excitement about was like watching UFC fights by myself on my laptop on some Russian stream. You know, that's the only thing I had any excitement about. You know, the stream, you gotta like pay a pay-per-view. I'm not doing that. So you gotta like go on these websites and having to always refresh it and stuff. But that was the one thing that even brought me any joy. Now I'm getting joy from all kinds of things. I'm getting joy from this sunny day. Nice, beautiful, sunny day. I'm getting joy from my car. My car is all paid off. No more car payments. It's reliable. It gets me around. I'm getting joy from that. I'm getting joy from the weekend, not having to work. That's cool. I always enjoy that, you know? I'm getting joy just from watching some TV show, playing some video games, whatever. Not too much. I moderate that a lot. I don't do too much screen time. But like, you know, just doing that a little bit here and there. Joy. I'm starting to have some good friends. Good new people are coming in my life. And I get a lot of joy from hanging out with them. A lot of joy from hanging out with them. And I didn't used to have any joy from any of this. I used to just hate life. I used to just hate life. And I don't hate life anymore. I don't. I enjoy life. And maybe because of some of my old videos, people want to hear me say about how it's terrible and I hate life and it's awful out there, dude. And people want me to do that whole thing. But like, I don't feel that way anymore. I used to feel that way and I was authentic about that. I was honest about that. It's how I felt. If it's how you feel, it's how you feel. Don't like repress your feelings. Be real. You know, be real about how you feel. Repressing it's not healthy, but like, I don't feel that way. I'm not all doom and gloom. And I've had some dumb stuff I had to deal with. I had identity theft I had to deal with. I had a bunch of dumb stuff I had to deal with. Recently, I tried to move into a new apartment. They lost my application. I put $800 down. They had to refund it. I had to talk to them. My current apartment mischarged me on my rent. This all happened about 6 months ago. But I had to deal with all that. That wasn't fun, but like, that's more of the shit show. But whatever. Now I'm partying. Now I'm having a good time. I'm not dealing with that. And, you know, if the shit show comes, just roll with it. Roll with it. Get back to the party. Get back to the good times. But you have to get both your feet on the ground first. And I'm telling y'all, when I'm in the phase of life where I'm trying to do the basics, I'm trying to put my feet on the ground, I'm trying to just get right with me, I'm trying to just, you know, do the basics in life. Just step one. I'll see 111 everywhere. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I see it everywhere, especially when I'm contemplating those kind of things of just like getting the basics right in my life. And that's what you got to do. The party ain't going to get started if you don't get the basics right. If you don't get the basics right, you're still going to be on quicksand. And that quicksand is going to fall through. And you're going to go back to the shit show. You're not going to be partying anymore. But I'm telling y'all, like, so many good times could be had. So much enjoyment could be had. If you have a good friend, just go with a good friend to a restaurant. Have a beer. I got celiac disease. I can't drink beer, but for me, a cider. Eat a burger on a freaking gluten-free bun. That's what I gotta do. But whatever, y'all. Get a burger and just like sit and talk and hang out and just chill. And it's awesome. It's really awesome. You know? And just the time to myself, just going out, taking a walk, going to the gym. I feel great after the gym. I feel great after the gym, especially all these freaking annoying SHIT show health issues I'm dealing with, it feels really good that those are getting better and I can actually go work out more and get in the shape I want to get in. Even just doing this YouTube channel, just this journey, talking to y'all, having y'all leave comments. Some people, I had a lady leave me $100 on a super thanks last week. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And sometimes I don't appreciate the journey enough. Sometimes I don't appreciate it enough, you know? Sometimes I'm just like, I gotta remember, like, I got the Spirit of God in me and around me. And I'm in this big party and I'm having a good time. And yeah, things will happen, you know? A little traffic jam here, people are honking their horns and stuff. But, you know, it's like, I just gotta find ways to enjoy life. And not be in the doom and gloom, not be in the misery, not be in this state of life is hard, it's terrible, and it sucks, and maybe something bad will happen to me, and I'll get back there for a little bit, but I'll bounce right back up, and I'll be right back to positivity. I'll get right back on my horse, you know? I'm learning the lessons I have to learn. I'm growing into the person I got to grow into. And I'm winning. I'm winning. And you know, life ain't so bad. The world is bad. The devil is bad. The corruption in the world is bad. Most of the people in the world are bad. But life ain't bad. Life is good. You know, life is a gift from God. You know, life really isn't that bad. You just got to get out of that shite show. Get out of the crap festival. You got to leave the crap carnival. That's a better word. That won't bother the algorithm as much. You have to leave this crap carnival. That is the world. And that is most people and most situations. You got to leave that crap carnival and you got to find the party. It's not easy. You got to get your feet underneath you. Get independent. Mentally, emotionally, financially. The whole deal. The whole freaking deal. But, you know, you're going to be just having fun in ways you didn't know how. You know, going to some new hiking spot, seeing the beauty of nature. And the thing is, like, when I was hard up, when I was down bad, you could show me a beautiful sunset, a beautiful waterfall, but because I was in so much pain, I wouldn't really be able to enjoy it that much because I was depressed and in pain and processing, and I was hurting bad. That waterfall and that sunset wouldn't have meant that much to me. But now, you could give me a freaking Pop-Tart, and I'd be like, yes, a Pop-Tart, that's awesome. You know, so just about learning to appreciate the little things. Just trying to have fun driving my car. Trying to have fun going grocery shopping. Just trying to enjoy life. Like, for real, for real. And the thing also, when it's an actual party, you don't want to escape. You're not trying to do all these things to try to cope with life. You're not trying to escape reality, escape the situation. You know, you're able to just take life as it is because you're loving it. And that's what I want everyone in this video to get to a point to where their life's a party, they're having fun, they're having a good time. And I know a lot of folks are up against hard stuff. I know a lot of people, it seems impossible. It seems like, you know, it seems like some of y'all might seem like you're in a hole that's too big to get out of. You know, some of y'all might think, I'm in a hole, it's too big, it's too deep, I can't get out of this hole. Whatever your hole is, you know, whatever your situation is, people might be thinking, I can't get out of this. You can. Start climbing. That climb is going to be hard. That climb is like Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, Dishe Basra, where Bane throws him in this like Moroccan prison thing, and he's got to climb up with no rope, you know? You do. You got to climb up with no rope and hope you don't fall. But with God, He'll catch you when you fall, and He'll help you keep climbing. But yeah, you got to climb, and that climb's not fun. That climb is scary. That climb is tough. That climb can be humiliating, you know? Your pants rip open. There's all these people on the bottom pointing and laughing at you, you know? For real. When you're making your climb, a lot of people are going to laugh at you. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, look at him, he's climbing. He's not going to get out of the pit. He's stuck here forever with us. They're going to say all this stuff and put all this doubt, but don't have doubt. You can climb out of the hole. I climbed out of the hole. It was not fun at all. I could tell you, like, a year or two ago, 2-3 years ago, I was miserable. Miserable. You know, I've been miserable most of my life, to be honest. Not always, not all the time. There was pockets of stuff where I was happy, but for the most part, it's been misery. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, no more of this. My life ain't going to be miserable anymore. Because I climbed out of that hole. I did. You know, the thing about the hole, it's also narrow, it's dirty, it's funky. It is not a fun situation to climb out of that hole. And a lot of people are going to doubt you and say you're not going to make it out, and why are you even trying? And they might try to sabotage you to keep you stuck down there with them. But you keep climbing. You keep climbing. You keep growing. And you'll get to the top, and you'll find a party. You'll find self-esteem. You'll find self-confidence. You'll find stability. You'll find the strength to do the basic things in your life you got to do. You'll get your life together. Things will get better. You can climb up. You can. It doesn't matter what you're going through in life. You can climb out of that hole. And when you do, there is a nice, beautiful, beautiful party waiting for you. It'll come. It'll come. Good people, good situations, good times, good vibes. You know, you'll be around the good vibes and the good times and the good people. You won't be so caught up in all the drama of the world and all the stupidity people are doing. You'll be around positive energy, happy energy, good energy. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. And you're going to find so much joy in life. You're going to find things you enjoy. You're going to find your passions, your hobbies. You're going to travel. You're going to take trips. All this kind of stuff that seemed impossible before, or it seemed like before, nothing could make you happy. You know, that's how I felt, like nothing could make me happy. And I just felt like I didn't have the wherewithal to do all this stuff. Like I didn't have the time, the money, the physical energy, the mental energy, whatever. You'll have all that energy. You'll have the wherewithal to do this stuff. And you'll travel, you'll take a nice trip, you'll meet cool people. You'll just get out of the funk. You'll get out of the funk. You'll have a good time. You'll just find continuous joy in life. You know, your joy in life is not going to be like smoking one of these where you smoke it, you're having a good time, then you're done, and then you're like, nah, and then now I need to do another one of these to feel good. No, it's going to be just continuous and ongoing. And it's not going to like cost you something later like one of these guys is going to. It's not like going to like, you know, oh, I feel good now, but it'll cost my health, you know. No. You're going to feel good and you're going to be healthier, better. It's just going to be this like infinite energy almost, as what I could call it, infinite energy, perpetual motion. You're going to find, you're going to be connected to the infinite, connected to the divine. And that will just make everything so much more fun, so much more enjoyable, so much of a party. You'll want to get up and dance. You'll be smiling throughout the day. For no reason. People are like, why is that guy smiling? We're in the middle of work. Everyone's bored and stressed and annoyed. Not you. You're going to be smiling and just enjoying stuff. You're just going to find joy everywhere. You could be outside, see a cool bird. You'll find joy in that, you know? And a lot of the party, it's about freedom, you know? When we're in this party, we've broken free. We're not shackled down there in that pit, you know, in the shit show pit like everybody else. We got out, and now we're in the party, and we're free, and we can come and go as we please, and we're not just stuck in that cycle of chaos anymore. You know, we've gotten free, we've broken free. We have. So, yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless, much love, and I will see you all next time.